supposed to rain today. I was sick. And it makes them so happy and they love it. And it is just, it's addicting. Ginger Patch Designs is me. I am the business. So I have to put myself out there. It was so bad. We teachers, we're good at figuring stuff out and get a plan. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittany, the Ginger behind Ginger Patch Designs, where I make handmade bookish merch, related apparel and accessories, and plushie toys. Today, the mission is shirts. So not a whole lot to see here other than just making a bunch of shirts. But this week is like an odds and ends week. If you watched my video last week, I talked about my first market flop of the season. That hasn't happened in a very long time. So if you want to check that out and kind of see my reaction and kind of how I cope with flops in the business. It's my Cricut press beeping at me. If you want to see how I cope with failures in the business, you can go watch that video. I do want to show you some personal shirts that I made for my daughter and myself. We've got about 4 weeks here in West Tennessee until kids start back to school. So I decided to make my daughter some shirts. I thought they were super cute. I got these from Scarlo Digital Designs on Facebook. And then I can't remember where I got this one. I cannot remember where I got this one, but she's starting kindergarten. And then this was my favorite shirt of the bookish launch, the one with the book stack and the world on it, because I'm a history nerd, so I made that for me. And then this is definitely going to be me this market season. And then I had planned this before recent events. I'd already ordered the print for the shirt, but it's just really fitting that it came in today. I love it. Do you love it? I just thought it was really cute, but now it's super fitting, considering recent events. So my dog is an old man. He makes all kinds of noises. If you ever hear noises in the background of my videos, it's Bane. It's Bane. Here. Bane. Look at you, big boy. So if you're not in my Facebook group, I do a lot of like random plushie sale, like one and done plushie sales on there. I do a lot of shirts that I don't post on my website all the time that you might see. So if you're not in the Facebook group, Ginger Patch Designs, go check it out. I post a lot of updates, like where I'm going to be for markets, etc. And I do the same on Instagram. So just whichever you prefer, Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, so this week is going to be a lot of odds and ends things. Like the closer we get to back to school time, that's almost like for vendors, like it really signals the start of fall market season. And so I know that once school starts for my daughter, I'll be like full on market mode in my brain. So I'm changing the way I do my market displays a little bit this year. Like when I first started markets, it was, whatever I could find. I got a lot of like secondhand stores going out of business displays. They were like mix and match, which was fine when you're first starting out. But now that I'm more established, I'm going for a much more cohesive, aesthetically appealing look. So color-wise, white or clear. So that means like white paint or acrylic display stands, if possible. Texture wise, wood and metal and acrylic, painted wood and metal. So that's kind of what I'm slowly working on, not in the shop. And it's really hard to film outside because it's so hot. I feel like a nasty mess out there. Like, I don't want to be on camera when I'm doing that. So I don't know if I'll show you the process or just when I'm done, because the heat has arrived in Tennessee, let me tell you. It's boiling.
spent with you. Sun-kissed, soak it all up, close your eyes. Lately I've been missing summer skies. They never, never, never get old. Never, never, never get old. Time goes on, moves so quickly, quickly. Years have gone, but you'll still be the only ones who know of the place we called home. Starlight, so bright, searching for a lookalike. I don't think I'll find one in the starless city. Certain colors of the weather we had. Didn't think that I would move on and miss it this bad. Sun-kissed, soak it all up, close your eyes. Lately I've been missing summer skies. They never, never, never get old.
So, to explain how I went from teacher to full-time business owner in a condensed way that's not 2 hours, I will do my best. I really don't want this to be long. I mean, I could talk for 2 hours about it, but it's not really as dramatic as you might be thinking. There is no drama. It's just a culmination of things, really. So even though I'm new to the YouTube world, TikTok, all the socials or whatever, I am not new to the business world. I just realized that I do this a lot. I've had Ginger Patch Designs for about 7 years. It started as a hobby business. I'm trying to give you the condensed version. It was a distraction from my job. There were many parts of my teaching job that I really loved and I liked, but as any teacher will tell you, any junior high teacher will tell you, it can be extremely stressful. Even if you are at a wonderful school, you have wonderful coworkers, as I was blessed to have, truly, it's just the nature of the job. It's really difficult to explain to someone who's not in education what I mean by that, because every job has stresses. Any job you have is going to have its good days, bad days, etc. But there's just so many aspects to being an effective teacher, and it's very wearing. So I used my hobby business as a distraction. When I would get really, really busy with that, I loved it because it took my mind away from it. Even though I would be really consumed with doing business things, it let my mind rest from the teacher things, if that makes sense. And that's what allowed me to kind of reset. And so it was a stress relief at the same time. So full disclosure, I truly never believed that I would be doing this full time. I just thought it would continue as a little side hustle, doing the local markets that I really, really love and enjoy, and just that be that. Because, I mean, mostly for economic reasons. Teacher insurance is pretty good, or at least it is where we live, health insurance. So that was a big factor, economic reasons. I had actually decided 3 years ago, after what I feel it was my best teaching year I've ever had, that I was not going to be a 30-year teacher. If I didn't leave for this, it would have been something else. I never could pull the trigger to leave, though. I had a few opportunities to pursue another career, and I just couldn't do it. It was really hard to leave. Like I said, really good school, really great coworkers, all things considered, and I just never could do it. So flash forward to around Christmas time of this past year in 2023, going into 2024, my husband and I were talking about a lot of things. We have a lot of personal factors that went into me deciding to finally leave the classroom. My husband's job, he's out of town a lot. I do not live in the same town that I teach in. There's about a 30-minute drive. That was a deciding factor. My daughter was starting school. So we decided it was just kind of a now or never thing. Let's give this a go. my husband, I wouldn't be able to do this without my husband. What I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be able to pursue this if it weren't for my husband's support. I was progressively more and more unhappy this past school year. And I think, when I will briefly say this about one of the factors that drove me out of the classroom. For those that are not in education, every job has performance metrics, and our performance metrics, there's the student performance metrics and there's the teacher performance metrics. And although they are related, this is very difficult to explain to someone not in education. Basically, they're related, but then they separate in various ways as far as how the students are evaluated and how the teachers are evaluated. But how we are evaluated is largely based on how the students perform. So, there's classroom performance all year long that we monitor and this and that we get continual informal feedback as teachers as to how they're absorbing, how they're doing this and that, and what you need to modify. And then there's the big shebang at the end of the year that shows us on paper how effective we are. It became very wearing year after year, being reduced to numbers and statistics on a piece of paper when the performance of the whole school year in the classroom was a lot of times completely different. And you really get to know your kids, and you see how far they come and how they progress in the classroom on a day-to-day basis. And then I guess what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of pride and integrity in my job performance. And I know I was not a rock star teacher by any means, but I know that I was good at my job. Like, even the last few years when I knew that I was done, I still did my absolute best, because we're talking about children here and their education. And I just got really sick of being reduced to numbers on a page. My school never made me feel that way. My supervisor never made me feel that way, but I was sick of it. I was sick of it. Then, on the other side of that, on the other side of all the stress of the classroom, is my business, where I'm creating, I'm making, I'm meeting people who buy my products, and it makes them so happy and they love it. And it is just, it's addicting. I didn't realize that until just now when I'm making this video. It feels my love bucket, to put it simply, to see that my products, the things that I make with my hands in my little shop bedroom, is making other people happy, excited. It's exactly what they wanted. It's exactly what they didn't know that they wanted and needed and had to have. Or my Harry Potter wallets are going all over the world. I'm still mind blown by that. It's intoxicating in an interesting way. And it's motivating to me, and it, gets my creative juices flowing, if you want to think about it like that. And it's what makes me truly happy. And so my husband has seen this. He sees how excited I get over the years when it's market season, and he sees how sometimes I won't shut up about shop things. And he wanted that for me. He wanted me to be able to pursue what I love and essentially give it a go. Honestly, what finally got me to pull the trigger to leave the classroom and decide to resign was not just my husband's support, obviously, because we have to be smart for economic reasons, right? And health insurance. I had to get my head right. I had to stop being afraid, number one. I had to remind myself that I will do whatever it takes, meaning if I do fail at this, doing it full time and within a reasonable amount of time to build it up, I'll take a side job. I worked for a temp company and had a few jobs when we first moved back here before I got a teaching job. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to support my family. So if I fail at this, I can go back to the classroom. I can get a little side job. I can sub. We are the kind of people that will make it work, you know? And so that, and largely, I had to get out of my own head. I had to stop being afraid of failing. Because that you might fail. That's expected. Like, when you take risks, failure is part of that risk. Failure meaning this is not yielding enough of an income for me to do this full time. I need to either go back to a real job, like full time or part time. I also needed to get out of my own head as far as how to approach the business. Previously, I would tell people, they're like, well, how's your business going? How's your business going? It's going great, but it had kind of capped. And what I mean by that is I had taken it as far as I could take it and still be able to wear all the hats I needed to wear. I mean, I'm momming, I'm wifing, I'm teaching, I'm coaching. My daughter's got activities. Like, my plate was full. And so I had a website, I had an Etsy shop, but I did not market, advertise, try and expand. I just kept it where it's at because that's all I could handle. I knew if I tried to grow it and expand it, and while still working and coaching and doing all the things, it wouldn't work. So what I did after Christmas of this past year was the boring stuff. As some people might think it's the boring stuff, but I researched. I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of note taking, video watching on how to take my business to the next level, as far as exposure and growing in this new business world that, like, I know how to make all the products. I know how to make the pretty pictures of the products. But as far as marketing my business and putting myself out there, because I am the business. Ginger Patch Designs is me. Like, I am the business. So I have to put myself out there. And that's hard because I am an extroverted introvert. I don't like being in front of the camera. I don't like talking in front of crowds. I can talk in front of my kids in the classroom all day long, but I don't, this was a huge stumbling block for me. Like, I cannot tell you, maybe I should have started doing outtakes sooner, because y'all, the first several times I was trying to video, and I'm just by myself here in my room. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. But everybody's got to start somewhere, right? So, getting out of my comfort zone big time and putting myself out there and just not giving a rat's hiney who doesn't like it, I mean, it is what it is. The moment that I accepted that in order for small businesses to succeed in our current society, like the way it is in the digital world, you have to be online. And by online, I mean posting to socials, marketing yourself, marketing yourself, and being vulnerable and just putting yourself out there. The moment I accepted that, I was like, okay, I need to learn how to do that. I have to go get my daughter in like 5 minutes, and I have to change my clothes a little bit, but I will wrap this up and say, don't be afraid. Dude, if I can do this on the YouTube and the TikTok-y, like, anybody can do it. Because if you only knew me personally and knew how awkward I was, like, this is really something. Don't be afraid of what people are going to say. Don't be afraid what people are going to think, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was very, I wouldn't say surprised, but kind of like when I when word got out that I was leaving the classroom, like I was actually still working because I put my notice in about a month and a half. I can't remember, about a month and a half before the end of school. Everyone was so like happy for me, excited for me. They understood, or everybody that spoke to me anyways. It was just a really positive exit, to put it that way. And I still have friends that are in the classroom. Like, I'll always consider myself a teacher, but, we're only a few weeks away from school starting again for the kids. And so it's usually that time where I start, getting my teacher brain going and what do I need to do? What do I need to put back together in my classroom after summer cleaning and this and that? And I have to remind myself I don't have to do that anymore. And I still have friends in the classroom that are going through those same things right now. And I'll always be a teacher at heart. I just can't help it. It's the way that I'm wired, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. And I'm very happy. So if you stuck around this long, thank you. I have to go get my daughter. I will see you tomorrow. So I spray painted some stuff earlier and I just realized that it's raining. Hard. Just a few corrections and minor details that I left out the other day. I've actually had Ginger Patch Designs for 8 years. I started it in 2016, and it wasn't started as a distraction. I started it because I like to sew, and I bought this beautiful gem right here, my baby. I bought it just to quilt and have fun with, and I thought it would be fun to start an Etsy shop, and that's what I did. I sewed just cute little pouches, very humble, no brag, but it quickly developed into my creative outlet where I focused on my creative energy, pre-kid and pre-coaching responsibilities. At the time, the school I was at the time, what was extremely overwhelmingly stressful. Like, don't recommend. But then flash forward to the school that I just left. That was my forever home school. I was never going to leave to go to another school. Didn't want to. That's when I shifted it into a place where I capped it. Like, I grew it as far as I could grow it without it becoming overwhelming, and just kind of like posted right there for a few years until everything else that I told you. So yesterday, initially, I wasn't going to go there with this particular thought as to another major reason why I left teaching. But I think I got it. Like, I think I've got a way to say what I need to say, but say it tactfully so people don't come for me. So I was, again, I taught 7th grade most of my career, minus 2 years in 4th grade, which was super fun. They're so cute. But my personality is more, I feel, suited for junior high. Anywho, I was the kind of teacher that I didn't micromanage. Either, by 12, 13 years old, you know what's expected of you as a student, how to behave in school, etc., within reason. I mean, kids are going to be kids. They're going to make mistakes, but it's how you deal with those mistakes and what you do after the fact is what really matters. And so I was one of those teachers that either you do what you're supposed to do to the best of your ability and you reap the rewards, or you don't and you suffer the consequences. Well, not suffer. I mean, you know what I mean. Like, there's rewards for doing what you're supposed to do. There's consequences for not doing what you're supposed to do, period. And we ran a tight ship. And that's just how we did things. That traditional outlook on teaching, you do what you're supposed to do, you reap the rewards, you don't, there's consequences, period. Black and white. The rules are the rules. Used to be the norm, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. And it still exists for sure, but I'm trying to be tactful like with my hands, and it's being so awkward. And the number of students and parents and sometimes faculty who don't feel or exercise structure and routine, but for academic and behavioral and social expectations for children, is increasing. And I struggled with that. I struggled really hard because I just couldn't comprehend it. I felt like holding my kids accountable was doing right by them, even if they didn't like it. I mean, kids don't like being held accountable. That's normal. And just after so much pushback, it just becomes very wearing. It becomes extremely wearing. Again, I had full admin support. If it weren't for that, I probably would have left a long time ago. And it sucks because there's a lot of really great kids out there, but there was enough pushback from trying to hold kids accountable so that they'll be able to do when they get out in the world that I just don't want to do anymore. I just don't want to do anymore. So not exactly shop related. I made my daughter some, these are stickers that I cut out by hand, days of the week stickers, because we're trying to teach her independence and, getting ready on a routine schedule, getting ready for kindergarten. And I got her this, it's actually for shoes, but it's like there's 5 sections and she can just pull out her outfits each day. Like we'll plan her outfits on Sundays and she can just go in there on Monday and pick out her outfit. I hope you found this video encouraging, whether you're a teacher or not, whether you're wanting to pursue a small business or you're already a small business owner, whoever you are, I hope you found it encouraging. And let me just leave you with this little tidbit. I'm in no way trying to convince anyone of leaving their job or leaving the classroom. This is just my story and how it ended up working out for now for me. It was a long time coming. There was no drama involved with my story. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I would encourage you to really pursue some introspection as far as really what's best for you and your family and your career before you take a leap, and get a plan. Like we teachers, we're good at figuring stuff out, and get a plan in place before you make any decisions. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who tuned into last week's video. If you haven't seen last week's video, the market flop, if you enjoyed my storytelling and I wasn't too long-winded for you, go check out the market flop video that I'll link at the end of this video. You win some, you lose some. So if you want to continue following my post-teaching career small business journey, give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. A company where I make handmade bookish merch, related apparel and accessories, and I don't know what I'm doing with my hands right here. Let's try that again. So last week's video about if I could just stop saying Ugh. So if you want to continue to follow my post-teaching career journey, why? It's a teaching thing. I don't know. So if you want to continue to follow my post-teaching career journey as a small handmade business owner,